This is
The Handbag Husband.
the Handbag Husband.
International.
Yay, international. So as you can see, we are still here in the beautiful city of Venice. And in this video, I think what we're gonna do is one that we have kind of been doing over the last couple Hermèscapades is do a video called what we call random thoughts, where we get to throw in.
This is very random.
It's very random, and they're all kind of things that come up as we are doing our Hermèscapades and kind of thoughts about the Hermès process and the Hermès system and Hermès goods and just all that stuff thrown into one that probably wouldn't stand on their own as an own video, but I think that we find them super interesting and would love to hear what you all think about them as well. So we're gonna put them together in a video that we're calling Random Thoughts Italy. Now, of course, if you like these videos, if you like the Hermès conversation, if you like the Hermès milieu, and if you like the bag candy, because no matter what, I guarantee you, we always have some great bag candy for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because it does really help the channel grow, and of course, we are so thankful for that.
Grazie mille.
Grazie mille. But also because it means you get notified when our long videos come out, when our short videos come out, and all the stuff we have on the socials at Handbag Husband on Instagram as well as YouTube, because we have new Hermès content coming out every single week. So let's get to some of those random, if not very random, thoughts about Hermès. All right, so we are here back at the Airbnb, which is almost 1,000% somebody's grandma's house. Like, it's about to be my grandma's house. It's so cool. It just has a very like antique feel to it. I don't even know if we're supposed to be sitting in the living room. But I want to take this opportunity to do a little bit of introspective part of our random thoughts and talk about how our perspective has changed, or perhaps how one's perspective changes as you gain more and more kind of experience and more spend and more boutique visits. How does that change how we see Hermès here in Italy? I don't know, what do you think about that? I mean, do you think your perspective has changed at all?
I think if we have not done the videos, we basically just let the visit go and not really kind of analyze the visit. Does it make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
So you just like, man, waiting in the back, and then like just be sad about it, and then basically done. Like, right?
Yeah.
But by get dragged into doing this channel with you, it's more like, okay, we kind of have, we always have like, hey, let's debrief.
Yeah.
Like what happened.
Yeah.
Like why was it like that?
Yeah.
Why it was successful or why it was not successful. So you kind of take a moment or long moment.
Or a lot of moments.
Yes.
What is it, 70 episodes of moments?
Sure, like to think about it of like, okay, why? Yeah, so obviously there were more thoughts into it. There's more best educated guess, like why?
Yeah.
And obviously this is just our own like theories, you know?
Yeah.
It might like 100% not true at all.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think creating the videos has really, for me, put a microscope. It also opened up kind of a better understanding of what is Hermès, and really kind of a whole new world for me.
I guess
as
it's
far
not.
as
I think you probably agree that it's not just an MS. But we probably can apply this to most of the luxury products.
Yes, I think specifically here for Italy, the things that we're coming back to Italy with, and it becomes so apparent because we haven't been to the northern boutiques that much, right? We haven't been to Venice, we hadn't been to Milan.
Because you don't like Milan.
Hey, I don't dislike Milan. I just like Milan
because you tripped over once, you were sick once.
And it just doesn't feel like an Italian city. It feels like a European city, which is fine, but I come to Italy for Italian cities. So I don't know, I think the random thought is, I guess, do you think that now that we know more about the bags and more about the process, does it actually change how you feel about going into the boutiques here?
Less anxiety, for sure. Like back in the day, I remember like, I was just, obviously I still feel like dreading going in. Sometimes like, can I just sleep a little bit more? Yeah. Because again, every visit takes lots and lots of energy. Out of me being introvert, I'm just like, okay, let me get some coffee or like to hype myself to going in. Because I want to be like ready, like be basically.
Yeah.
It sounds odd, but you, the husband, thinks that I'm the wing. You will be my wingman in the Hermes store.
Yeah, that's what probably people think.
But in my head, or I don't know, reality, I think I'm actually your wingman when we go to the Hermes store. So in my head, it's like, okay, how can I be able to like help you with the conversations, or you know what? Sometimes you will forget about something.
Yeah.
So I can like, okay, this and like this and like this. So yeah.
I think that both of us starting to get more on equal footing. Of course, you still know more than I do, but both of us getting on more kind of equal footing as far as our knowledge for Hermes, I think actually has really helped us. And maybe it's
sidebar. Today we just learned that, oh guys, it's bad. We have been
maybe question how we're saying everything.
We have been pronouncing Bullied wrong, incorrectly for.
We even call it Boldy.
Because in
like
my
the Boldy
head,
with the wheels.
In my head, it was spelled Boldie. That's why we were pronouncing Boldy. I was like, no, it's actually Bolide. It's Bullied. It's Bullied.
Bullied. Yeah, the SA in Venice said it that way. And we're like, what are you talking about?
And we were like, okay, let's Google it. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, now I'm pretty sure I'm saying everything wrong.
So start questioning everything. So
anyways, my point being is I think that both of us being on equal footing, it means that we can actually put up a much better fight. We're much better prepared for the visits with the SAs. Where back in the day, when we first started coming in, I felt like the SA had all the power. And they still have all the power.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But the thing is that not only did they have all the power, but they also had all the knowledge. And I think that both of us, having gone through this and starting to learn more about the different types of leathers and the different types of bags, the different types of sizes and the trends and all that kind of stuff, has put us in a position that when we're interacting with the SA, we can almost kind of interact, at least as far as the product goes, on a similar level.
No, I think that's true too.
Yeah.
But like to me, the most important thing to me that I feel like these days is like I feel less anxiety.
Yes.
For sure, like that's to me. I know you don't get.
Oh, it could be.
You don't get
No.
any. You don't care. But like to me,
Yeah.
it feels like pressure. Like,
Yeah.
You know that kind of pressure.
Yeah.
It's almost the same thing when we were looking for a house.
I guess my side of it is that I noticed in our appointments this time around.
Or visit.
There are visits, no appointments, visits. We haven't had any appointments, just visits. I think one thing that I think is super interesting, and this might be something that's a really big help for all you folks out there, is that, okay, so what Bactor was saying is that the SA has all the power. She's the gatekeeper, or they are the gatekeeper to the goods, right? But the one advantage that we have now, you and I, is that both of us can continually ask them engaging questions throughout the thing. So
keep them spinning.
Yeah, so we keep all of it spinning, right? And one is because we're generally excited about the brand, right? We love Hermes, okay, fine.
Sure.
If you ask me anything about another brand, I'm like, I don't know what the names are, what the sizes are, what seasons, and I don't know anything.
Yeah.
Hermes, I got you, right? So the thing is,
but we still need to learn how to pronounce.
well, okay, don't ask me how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
The point being is that, we are continually just firing off more and more kind of engaging questions with the SAs. And I can oftentimes see them, they're not able to guide the visit in the same way that they would have. So if someone comes in, they probably in their mindset are like, oh, we're gonna go here, we're gonna go here, we're gonna go here, and then they're gonna leave, right?
Sure.
And you see the SAs try to start that kind of archetypical visit. And as a result of us continually interacting with them and engaging with them, their visits go all over the place, and you see them have to start to engage their brain and start to think and start to get out of that robotic mindset.
Sometimes they appreciate that we actually liked it, like we actually like appreciate the brand,
Yeah, and we've had multiple SAs in each boutique. It's been like, oh, obviously you know the brand, right? So let's talk about. They're like, let me see what
I don't know if that's a dick or not. I don't know. The random thoughts.
I didn't take it as a dick.
Maybe I don't know.
Yeah. But they were just like, obviously, you have experience with the brand, you like the brand, you're looking for things that are not just Kelly and Birkin and Constance, although We are looking for calibration constants. Yeah, I think that's the big difference, right? That not only are we more comfortable engaging, but we're also engaging in a way that it takes them out of that robotic no. It's almost like the essays get sucked into our long conversations that we've had in private, and we just suck them in for another opinion. And they're like, oh no! And then they're like, oh, I don't have time for this. But
it's not marriage counseling.
I mean, yeah.
Sure.
So I don't know. But for some reason, I think that has been one of the keys to success in this visit. Right? I think that getting the essays to engage their brains and get out of the robotic no has put us advantageously into different spots.
1 2 1 2.
All right, so previously we talked about kind of our internal perspective, like how our internal thoughts have really changed as far as Hermes goes, as far as random thoughts, and these is obviously random thoughts. But I think there's another side of it, which obviously is the random thoughts from outside, right? Like how does it look like versus Hermes in Italy overall, kind of like externally? How has Hermes actually changed versus how we perceive it as being changed? I don't know, what do you think? First of all, you think that Hermes has actually changed?
This year, I feel way more comfortable than...
But I think that's not because, I mean, obviously that's an internal thing for us, but also because I think Hermes has really stepped up their game, right?
I believe so.
Their customer service has always been good, but it seems like it's more formalized, it's more logical, right, and less hectic. And they have more technology going, and they have more staff, and email conversations. So I think all of that just, it seems like there's small things and things that don't really matter to the quality of the bags. And they are small things that don't really matter to the quality of the bags, but they matter to the quality of the experience.
I believe so.
And so I think a lot of people feel more comfortable because the system is sort of streamlined and also well-staffed.
It's a line. It's still a line, but it's like wiggle.
Like our elevator here.
Yes.
It works, but
at least
wiggles.
It's a line. At least it's a one line.
Yeah.
This connecting line. Doesn't make sense. It's not like a like a dot and then dots and then dots and then dots.
Yeah. So I think Hermes Italy has kind of got their shit together, I guess, for lack of a better word. And I think that's maybe indicative of a lot of things. I think one of the reasons that it really has changed and why we start seeing them have more bags and why it seems easier to get bags. And again, check out those videos because we discuss specifically why. But overall, I think the long and the short of it is that more money from tourists is flowing in and they're finally catching up to it after the pandemic.
Adjusted the system.
They've adjusted the system, but also it's worth it for them to adjust the system here in Italy. Because so many tourists, primarily Americans,
or they actually read the 0-star reviews.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
And like the corporate was like, no, you guys.
They might. I mean, I would imagine someone does.
Right,
they probably have a whole department that does it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so a lot of people like us and people from where we're from, and also the rest of the world, obviously, are streaming in with sizable amounts of money, and they're spending it here in Italy, whereas maybe they had been spending it somewhere else previously. Maybe they've been spending it in Hong Kong or Beijing,
like London,
or
Paris.
Tokyo, London, Paris.
Yes.
Right? Maybe they've been spending that, but maybe they're seeing a larger portion of that money going there. So I think that maybe that is the biggest indicator of why all the systems seem to be working better, why they're getting more. I think they've moved up the hierarchy of allocation for bags internationally. That is the country of Italy.
I'm super impressed with Milan.
Yes, because Milan before felt very cold, right? And it felt very closed off, right? They didn't seem as amicable as they did this time.
Yes.
This time around, they're like, let's see what we can work with you on.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're not like, choose whatever you want.
Yeah.
But they're also like, oh, you know what? Tell us what you want, and we'll see what we have in our inventory. And I think because they have the bigger inventories, they can find more things that are fit within your criteria.
Yeah.
So overall, I think that all the aspects, the Hermes milieu has been lifted over the last year, and I really do. I would say, and maybe it's us patting ourselves on the back, and it may not even be close to true, but I think it's just the huge influx of tourists, and they're willing to spend the excess money that they got, that they've had stored up over the last couple of years. So, and we see it. I mean, we were at the Trevi Fountain today, and there's just, it was early. It was so early, and there's still
we went there
people
at 6, and we thought, what shouldn't be that crowded? And then bam.
No. There's people who had their wedding dresses on. They had their hair done. They had been.
I mean, you also had your hair done.
Yeah, but they were up since like 4 hours before that.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if they're getting ready on the plane or what, but they were just like everything looked great, and they showed up and they were ready to go at 6 o'clock. So
Yeah.
I know that takes a lot of time, and so we were the early birds, but it doesn't mean we always got all the worms. So, but yeah, I think that overall, I think that I have a really positive expectation for Hermès in Italy. I feel like they really are.
What can they improve though?
Well, I mean, I think there's always going to be room for a better way to to provide services. And we saw in the 0-star reviews, some of those people felt like they were treated not how they wanted to be treated. They felt like sometimes the SAs are rude or cold. And I think that, again, if we look at the time frame, might be indicative of them being overworked and not having enough staff to adequately provide the level of service that they want to provide.
But this time it seems like the ratio of the SA and customers, I think it seems okay.
It feels very good. That's my point. Is that maybe some of those service issues are a result of the ratio.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That the workers are not so overworked. So
I'm not talking about
tired.
the number of the bags. I'm talking about
Yes.
I'm talking about the SA.
The bags is a choice at corporate level, but
Correct.
I'm saying that the ratio of SAs to the clientele who are coming in
feels better than last
feels
time.
much better.
100%.
They feel more laid back. The experience feels better. It feels like you can take your time and have a longer discussion with them, unless all you want is a Birkin, and then of course the answer is no, right? Sorry, we don't have any in today.
Yeah.
But those longer conversations, those harder to get objects that are maybe harder to get in and back home, wherever you may be.
Yes.
Those seem to be more readily available, and also as my own personal greedy happiness, I see some of the bags that are being kind of sorted out for men coming out, right? And we see the availability of them not being nearly as restricted as the lady mini Kellys or mini Birkins or mini Bullies and stuff like that. So I'm really excited about that.
I guess my guess is, remember the SA was telling us like MS actually tried to push for bigger bags.
Yes.
That's why they put it on the runways. And
the NFL players have them, right?
But it was like, it's not there
not
yet.
getting a lot of traction
It's not.
yet. Yeah.
And I'm like, yes.
Let's do it. We can get some traction. Let's do it.
So.
But I want to get the bags first. Then you guys, we can get the traction
exactly.
going.
So I think maybe that's the reason why like the bigger bags seems to be a little easier because MS pushing them out.
I think another one that really came up, and I guess I didn't really notice it while we were in Asia, but it has become more kind of noticeable here as a pattern, is I think that Hermès, design-wise, and I don't know if they changed their designers, is they've started to get more whimsical. Right, like we're starting to see lots more Bullies on wheels.
Bullied,
the skate one. We're starting to see other ones that just we've seen more dolls kind of out and about, right? Maybe not on this trip, but I just think that overall, when we think about Hermès, it feels like it's starting to get a bit more whimsical. And maybe that's because...
Is it because we are getting older?
No. I think it's because people are no longer using these bags as professional bags. I think they're using them as personal statement kind of bags, or bags that they use for their own personal style, or maybe they want to brighten up some of their stylistic characteristics by having, looking professional and then having, having a doll, or having feathers, or having color schemes that are not really professional, because you don't need those kinds of things. If you're working from home, you don't need a professional bag, and that's kind of a problem if you want a real, normal, professional bag.
Yes, that's your issue.
That's the problem with us. But if you love Hermès and you're going to get the bag and you don't need it for work, then why not get something a little funky, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that they're playing around with that, as well as the sizing and things like that, too. So I like that. My other random thought is, like you had mentioned, is that it does seem like Hermès is trying to push into a more some male-driven bags.
Yeah.
And specifically for our case, like we got the Kelly Messenger.
Yes.
And when I look at some of the people's comments about the Kelly Messengers on the forums and the blogs, they mentioned the Kelly Messenger bag feels kind of clunky and like ham-fisted and kind of chunky, right? And I think that's the point, right? That's how you take a Kelly bag, which has a nice finesse to it. When you look at the traditional, Grace Kelly-esque bag, it has a nice finesse to it. It has very super classic, like kind of thin lines and elegant and just
leather,
and just well designed.
Yeah, sure.
I think the Kelly Messenger bag gives a different feel because of the fact that it's meant for the male gaze, right? It's meant for a male audience. So it's chunkier,
I guess
it's bigger.
for men, it needs to be semi.
Yeah.
usable.
It needs to be practical.
Yes, yes, it
practical
needs to be
first,
practical,
right?
yeah.
And also, men aren't concerned about how the bag makes their physicality look in the same way.
Make you look shorter.
Well, I mean, fine, okay, fine, I'll take that. And whatever it is, short kings, right? I'll take it. But my point being is, it is, and again, I'm generalizing here, but I'm just saying from my own personal experience, when I look at a bag, the size of a bag, I'm not concerned about how it makes me look as far
Sure.
as physicality.
I mean,
I'm not like,
at
oh, I look
some-
bigger
no,
or I
no,
look smaller.
No, at some point, not some point. Some maybe you weight that less than how it will work
Correct,
for you.
yes.
You might get out of 10, like how it make you look,
Yeah.
maybe like
Yeah.
2.5 or
It's
1.5.
less important than does it fit all my shit inside.
Yes,
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 yes.
yeah. I
Yeah.
understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially work bags because you have, you got your daily journal, you got your newspaper, you got a book, you got a laptop, you got an iPad,
Sure.
you got pencil cases and wires and tables and all that stuff you need to
Yeah.
bring with you for whatever you're doing on your
Correct.
daily business. That is infinitely more important. And also the sturdiness, right? I think the reality is that if they realize that men are going to value the bag for their practicality and what you can put in them, you need to have chunkier bits so that it is more sturdy.
Yeah.
Because the traditional Kelly, hands on it is not going to be super durable when you're packing it to the gills.
Because they say
moving
like
around.
the hands are too big. That's what they say.
Well, they're just saying the proportions seem off, right? They said it looks chunky and clumsy.
I mean, it's a messenger bag. It's not.
Yeah,
it's not
yeah,
gonna look
yeah.
like fancy, presentable, dapper. You see what I'm saying? A messenger is supposed to be like you get the documents from one
Yeah,
place.
yeah.
You hop on your bike.
Yeah.
You sling. You imagine like you sling the messenger bag like
Yeah,
behind you.
yeah,
You hop on
yeah,
your motorbike.
yeah.
Go to another place. Deliver the document.
Yeah.
So
So I think that both perspectives are right. Yes, it is clunky. Yes, it is clumsy. And also the other perspective is, I want a bag that is clumsy and clunky because I want it to be so sturdy.
Sure.
And I know that whenever I put stuff in there, or if I'm carrying it and someone bumps into me or maybe grabs it or something like that, it's not going to just like explode into 1,000 pieces.
yeah, sure.
Right? And also again, it's built for a male perspective. And I think that a lot of the male-centered bags that they're coming out with are for a more general male audience, not just specific male audiences. And so I think that they're trying to kind of swerve into it. If you look at the large Kellys and the large Birkins, the hacks and stuff like that, they're kind of built chunky and pragmatic and I'm not going to say industrial, but like user focused, right? Practical focus. Put your boots, put your saddle, put your whatever in there.
Yeah.
And it may weigh 70 pounds and you can easily carry it and have it.
I guess we'll see when you
So
actually
we'll see.
no, we'll see you
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
use it, and
yeah,
you might
yeah.
like, this is the worst thing ever, or like, I love this bag.
Yeah.
Could be that.
Like,
Would-
clunky.
yeah, could be. Who knows? We'll see.
We'll have to see. So yeah, I think that's a random thoughts, just kind of the external perspective on how Hermes from the outside has changed, how Hermes actually has changed, not us having it changed in 2024. And ultimately, I'm super optimistic. I think that if you are an Hermes-er, you like the Hermèscapades, you're planning to go to Italy, you should plan to go to Italy no matter what. But if you're going to be doing Hermes here, you can have your opportunities for getting the things that you're looking for are going to be way higher, way smoother, and way easier than they've been before. So that's good job, Hermes. Not that you need my support, but thank you.
Shut up and take my money.
yeah, exactly. So that is our random thoughts, and frankly, they're pretty random. They are pretty random, but I'd love to hear your random thoughts, right? That's the point, is I'd love to hear kind of what your perspective on some of these things that we've talked about are, and it can even be something even considerably more random, whether you're thinking about your own kind of random thoughts. We'd love to hear those. Put those down in the comments, because we're going to start doing short videos and Instagram posts where we can talk about the comments and give a response to it instead of just like the heart and the thumbs up, which is good, but we want to have kind of a more of those conversations, because I think a lot of those things you all have to say, the input you have, super interesting. I love it. So thank you all for that, and for those of you who do that. Now, of course, if you do like these videos, if you like the Hermes conversation, if you like the Hermes milieu, if you like the Hermes bag candy and the Hermèscapades, and we know we're going to have lots of bag candy and lots more Hermèscapades already planned in 2025. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because it does really help the channel grow. And of course, we are so thankful for that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Grazie. But also because it means that you'll get notified when our most long videos come out our newest short videos come out, and all the stuff we have at the Handbag Husband on Instagram and YouTube. We're gonna be answering the comments, gonna have some other stuff coming out. It's all gonna be amazing. New Hermes content coming out every single week. So with that, from beautiful Roma in Piazza Navona, which is increasingly getting busier. Look out here before it gets too crowded.